For me to be a revolutionary was not a fake, was not halfway.
Yeah.
Was a total thing. I was ready to die then by the enemy that I had disagreed with. So I couldn't say to a judge, because he's a judge, and then start saying, no, I'm coming, no. They then end up sentencing me, having not even tried me, because there might have been other ways. There might have other judges who say, go and deal with this case. They just decided everything. And the judge who was pronouncing said, yes, we are taking this right out of Zuma because we are Delela. He's silly. We are therefore putting a right which is not theirs to decide that I must go to jail. That's not democracy. For me, that's not the democracy I fought in this country. I know what democracy means. That's then is what led to me being now arrested.
So when the judgment was handed down, you were angry?
Of course, yes. Of course,
yes. Were you here? Where were you? You were here?
I was here in this house of my father.
Were you watching it live on television?
Yes, I did. That's why I saw who was talking. The lady. The lady. Justice lady. Whether it's Kampempe or whatever, but that was the lady, and I was shocked. For that matter, a woman in a democratic South Africa, so angry against a person who is being victimized. Whew. That was saying to me, there's still a long way to go. So I said, okay, I'm not going there. They said, no.
So you are not going there as into prison? When they said the
wherever, yeah. Why should I?
You refused? Who did you tell?
Absolutely.
Said, I'm not going to prison?
I said so.
Yeah?
I'm not. I actually wrote a statement. I said, I'm not coming. I said, if you want to arrest me, you arrest me. I'm not coming. But this thing is wrong. And indeed, they were arresting me. And I said, I'm not going. I mean, I'm not going to court. I'm not going to prison either.
But
Why?
you ended up going.
Of course, yes. That's what happened.
At the last minute.
That's what happens when you deal with people who are oppressors of other people. You always get to jail. I ended up on Robben Island. It's not the first time. I was repeating it. What was even worse for me, they mobilized soldiers throughout the country to come and arrest this one man. Not even handling a stick of match to burn one of the people. Just me. And people were angry of this country.
Yeah.
Very angry. They came here to say they must come and defend me.
I remember that.
Yes.
It was quite tumultuous outside the gates.
Absolutely.
I remember. And we know what happened even when you were arrested, the civil unrest.
Absolutely. Because when they brought the police, it was all over. And people were here to say, you can't take him. We could have had another massacre here. It was actually imminent. And government wanted it. Because I, in the afternoon at about, I think about 3, I phoned the commissioner and asked him.
Provincial?
No, before
National.
that. National.
Okay.
I asked, why are you sending the army to arrest me? Because if you wanted to arrest me, you would have brought the police to come and arrest me. Why this? Because it was something to arrest one little man at Nkandla with the whole army. I said, but what is this? And I realized that there was a plan in my own guess to kill people here.
To achieve what exactly?
To achieve the fact that we've dealt with one terrorist, because I was the first to be killed. I know the information. So I said, okay, let me save the poor people, innocent people. Let me not allow them to be killed. Let me go to prison.
After you were arrested?
Now I'm coming there. I'm coming there. What happened, the government provoked the people. And this is never said. Because by arresting Jacob Zuma, They came, they said they are going to arrest him, come what may. Why is the issue, why there was a dispute was very clear. I had said they are messing up with my rights. I am a citizen. And they said, we are arresting you, being a judge, want to prove that we are in charge. That's what the judgment was saying. And they brought the police, all the police. That's provoking. That's provoking those people who want peace in this country. So I did not want them to die. So I left. I went to prison and served something I did not agree with. It is that taking a citizen, old citizen, having fought freedom, for freedom, send him to jail just to fix him up, that angered the people. And people were angry. And they don't have a jail, they don't have anything. So they decided to protest in whatever way they wanted to protest.
Quite a violent way of protesting.
Of course, the violence was there because the police came to shoot them.
Nearly 400 people actually died.
Yebo.
Do you think that that's a good thing that it happened
that's
in your name?
That's a bad thing.
In your name, they say.
No. In my
name.
Hey.
Yes.
But they're defending me.
They are responding at this violence.
They are defending me because they've got nothing else to do. If you take a man to prison, because we've got insimbi zokubopha, you have a country, we have got yonke into, abantu bathi ke nathi ke ngezandla zethu. Don't blame the people, blame the government who provoked that kind of action.
So
absolutely.
When you sent Jabulani Khumalo to go and register
Umkhonto I had
on your
that
behalf.
discussion.
You sent him.
I had that discussion with him here in this house, here at Nkandla.
And it was always part of the plan?
I was helping to tell them what I'm doing in order to change this country. And I said I've chosen MK. But because MK is going to raise eyebrows to some people, I won't register it myself. I would register it through, there were 3 sitting next to me. So I said, we'll use your name. And we agreed. So that people must not realize I'm party to it. Because I was doing underground, total underground. I did that, and I don't have to argue with somebody who did not even know what Umkhonto was. What we are talking about, there are papers being written to court to explain that day where he had to sign. Because I put him here, I said, why do you now say this is your organization?
He still is saying that, absolutely.
No, I'm telling you, when I talked to him,
yeah,
I said, where do you come from? Because I've brought his brother and their friend in order to be here to hear what he says. No. I did not refuse to sign because I know the truth. In fact, somebody was saying, starting a discussion, I'd stop the discussion. I said, here's a paper, sign. Which he had participated in drafting.
So his signature was not forged?
No, he signed in front of all of us sitting. We are going to be saying it in public. He signed, and it was sent.
You've spoken about how your party is so young, and yet it has made an impact, or it has such wide reach. Who's funding Umkhonto weSizwe Party?
Unfortunately, we've got nobody who's funding us now.
No money at all? I mean, there was an article
that
spoke about funding from Belarus. Is that
money coming from?
Belarus,
Who
Russia.
Received it?
You?
Me?
You are a director of a company?
I've never received any. But I thought you were going to tell me somebody.
You're not funded by Russia?
When was I funded by Russia?
I'm asking you.
No, not funded by Russia.
Who's funding you? Where do you get so much money
listen,
to be all over the country?
Sister. When I worked underground the whole year until I made an announcement, I had not a penny.
Because you've been pleading poverty even in court.
I've been?
You've been pleading poverty even in court.
Exactly, because I don't have the money
to campaign?
No.
Campaigning is an expensive exercise.
I use my voice to tell the people what I've decided.
And then?
And people agreed. And they work today.
We were with you as a country for 9 entire years.
And I
as
changed a number of things.
Right?
And I changed a number of things.
Okay, hang on a second. You're gonna answer me. Let me ask the question. You're gonna answer me. You can't answer until I'm done.
Okay.
You were with the country for 9 entire years. And when you look at the population, it's mostly made up of young people. Now, you're at your not so tender age of what, 82, 83? Many are asking...
I'm 28.
Okay, backwards.
Okay.
You're at your not so tender age of 82. Let's be honest. Why don't you just allow young people to lead? What could you possibly contribute? You had your time. You had your time. Yeah. Allow other people to let this country grow and allow young people to run the country. What are you bringing to the table?
Have they displayed how they can lead the country?
Who?
The young people.
Are you saying young people can't lead?
No, I'm asking.
Why
don't we have young people who are acting like me now? If they are capable of doing so.
So you are saying you're the best option on the table?
I'm not saying I'm a best option. I said for a number of years after retiring, and the country was going down with your young people and everybody else, you being young as well, you were doing nothing.
You can't say we were doing nothing.
What were you doing?
I'm in the media space. I use this platform and the space to
You can't liberate people with media.
So how are you liberating people again?
Because I'm calling people to an organization called Mkondo Wesizwe.
I've been watching you, on the campaign trail. Even during this interview, you've been quite energetic. And I can't help but wonder, were you ever terminally ill?
Me?
Yes, especially because in the courts, your health has been a subject of discussion. When the arms deal trial was supposed to start, you were not in a good state to stand for trial. And so it goes.
I think that is a very serious question to answer. To ask rather, because the health of a person is always known as a business of that person and the doctors. It comes to this discussion when people, like it is happening now, when governments are doing things to make people feel uncomfortable, follow other people for whatever reasons. That's why such questions will come. There was absolutely no necessity for such a question to come. Absolutely.